immediate deficiency, so I started running through. Basically, just put a number on the board, and we tried to do it right. I've been instructing firearms in some capacity or another for my entire adult life, and so there's a little more to it than I just threw a number out. I was basing my numbers off some training and experience, but I came to a point where I felt comfortable with the qualification on where we were at and what the time standards looked like. And then once I was personally felt like it was fair and generous, I had Sergeant Zimmerman run through it a few times. By a few times, I mean like, I don't know, countless times. We ran through so many variations. I sent it to, I got buddies in 1st Special Forces Group still. I got buddies in 2nd Ranger Battalion still. I sent it to them to run through. I sent it to other firearms instructors in surrounding agencies. And I ran some guys through it in Spokane as well, Spokane PD. So I had basically, in Monterey County Sheriff's Office, had guys down there run through it. Guys all over the nation, actually Canada too. So guys all over North America, I had run through this thing that I just know through various channels or another. And you know, it took a lot of refinement. You know, if we go all the way back to slide 2, if we go all the way back to slide 2, and you look at slide 3, yeah. And you look at these, times. So you can reverse engineer it. So CJTC expects certain times, like they expect you to be able to shoot, fire 2 rounds in 2 seconds at 7 yards from your rifle. So if I understand that is their understanding for a time standard at 7 yards, I can take a course of fire at 7 yards and say, okay, they should be able to fire 2 rounds in 2 seconds, and then they should be able to perform a manipulation, like a reload, and then I go to CJTC's, some of my firearms instructor stuff from them when I went to instructor school over with CJTC, and they have certain time standards expected for certain types of manipulations, testing through them, and I add that time to the 2 seconds, and then I add 50% for sloth, as I call it, or 50% just for life happens kind of thing. That kind of can give you some. You can reverse engineer the times that way as well. But primarily, what I did do was I knew how long it took me to perform certain courses of fire. I don't expect everyone to shoot at my level. I also, not saying I'm some amazing shooter. I don't expect everyone to shoot at my level though. Again, qualification is a baseline, so I add some time for slop, and we refine. We just continually refine this thing for about a year and a half until we got to a point where I was able to then independently reverse engineer them, make sure all the time standards line up with what CJTC has put out. Nothing's crazy outside the box, and then we're able to publish it from there. So, in other words, it was a whole lot of trial and error. And then once we got to a place we were happy with, we went back through CJTC, again, they're that governing body, and verified that all our stuff was in line with, everything that we were doing was in line with what they're putting out. Very good.
Go for
Okay.
it. I have 13 questions, so.
All right.
The process for procuring new rifles, that was started before the new sheriff?
Yeah, so actually in 2021, or no, it was 2022. I brought my concerns to the attention of the previous sheriff, and he said, "Okay, I understand. Let's make it happen. Let's get new rifles." And so, disclaimer, right? I'm not a politician. I'm not even from this area. I found my way out here, and I love the community. I love the people, and that's why I'm staying. I'm not a politician. I don't have any dog in the political fight. I'm just going to say things as they are. Okay. So, Robin, the previous sheriff, agreed. Yes, we need new rifles. When I brought them to his attention and some of my concerns, he said, "We need new rifles. We need new ammunition. Go ahead and see what you can do about making that happen." So I came to him. Pacific County Sheriff's Office has 151 firearms for 17 patrol officers. So I came to him and said, well, let's get rid of some of these excess firearms. And he said, okay. And so I collected quotes from the vendor, the law enforcement vendor for SIG, who manufactures the rifles. And I got some other outside quotes just in case it would have been more cost effective to get it as cash rather than store credit. They ended up giving us the best quote. And so I came back to him with my quotes for trade-in, and said, okay, well, we can partially fund this thing. And this was around, well, it was just after the election. So at that point, he said, well, hold on. It was right after the election results came in, and I get it. There was some turmoil trying to figure out how they're going to do it. In my mind, they're just trying to figure out how to do a change in command, right? So I said, okay, no worries. I get it. You don't want a bunch of money going around at that point. And then they made some other purchases, and I saw it wasn't really a money thing, so I went and re-contacted him about it, and he told me just wait. And then the election was certified, and at that point he quit. I never saw him again. He quit coming to the office, just speaking plainly. So at that point, I really, again, this is a pressing issue to me, so I went to his house and had to have a conversation had a conversation with him, and he just told me he didn't want to do it, and he said, I'm not going to paraphrase it. He said it can be an issue for the next guy, and that is what it is. That is as plainly as I can speak it without any of no political feelings. That is what happened. So with that in mind, I went ahead and talked to, she's gone now, talked to Chief Belici, and I said, hey, Robin told me this. Can we still try to make this happen this year? Because I understand there's, I think, something to the tune of $58,000 excess that we're giving back to the county last year. He said, is there some way we can make this happen? That way we're not just kicking the can down the road. Because at the time I didn't know Sheriff. I didn't know what his feelings were going to be on this. I didn't want to have to try to, I didn't know what his level of understanding was with firearms, and I didn't want to have to try to start from square zero to explain all this stuff to him. And I wanted to make it happen last year, at least start the process. So I asked her if we could just see if we could bring it up for a commissioners meeting, basically. And again, I'm not a political guy. I don't know how it all works. I thought we were signing some form so we could go beg the commissioners to allow us to spend this money. So we did that, and they said no, and that brought us around to this year where we resumed it with him as the official head. Does that answer your question on the whole? I mean, it was it was an ugly process. I'm not, like I said, I'm not political, but there was political themes at play, without a doubt. So